And I think one thing we didn't touch on is part of the exhibition also has a soundscape with it. And I've always been curious because we see plants as relatives. And sometimes in our stories, um, there's a time where animals and people talked and conversed together. And so I thought about, well, what is it like when we talk to plants, or what would they be saying to us? Um, and so I made a soundscape using poppy data for this exhibition. And so I took different data points. Um, I used elevation, growing elevation, petal count, the amount of hours they're opened versus closed during a 24-hour cycle, um, growing season, all different kinds of poppy data. And then I put that onto a spreadsheet and I imported that into this data sonification software where it assigns tones to those data points. And once I did that, I then imported it into music software. And with the music software, I was able to assign instruments to those tones, and I was able to arrange it in a way that, because data is really linear, it was super linear when I did that. So I kind of reversed some of the bars uh, to make it a little less linear. But basically, the soundscape is really my music collaboration with poppies. And so it's for me when you're because this installation is meant to be um, looked up while you're lying down. So there is a bench in there that you will lay down on, and then you can look up and see the poppies. So it's supposed to be a reversed view. We have a lot of um, stories that talk about um, seeing the world sometimes in a different way, or seeing things, it's kind of as above, as below type of philosophy. And so when you're looking at these poppies, there's a soundscape that is playing. And for me, I feel like it's a collaborative piece of music that the poppies and I created together, kind of like the way we use fire, right, to collaborate with poppies, right, to propagate more seeds so that we have these beautiful super blooms. And so it's, I almost feel like this installation isn't just me. I should put poppies on the text as well in terms of who created the work, because it's something that I don't do alone, right? The environment plays a huge part in my work. And if I wasn't collaborating with these plants, then I wouldn't be producing the work that I do. So I feel like um, the plants uh, are my collaborators, they're my muse, they're um, a part of my practice, and they are a part of a long history of relationship. So yeah, this was the first time I decided to do a soundscape and to try it. And honestly, it was a huge learning curve. I I'm also I also occupy space in academia. I can't decide what I want to do in life, so I go back and forth. Um, I absolutely love data and research, and so I just felt like I really wanted to understand plants better, or the plants in my bioregion better. And I thought one way for me to do that, or the way my brain works, is to look at data. And so I was looking at data and thinking about how those data points could be turned into music. And so this was my first time doing that. And I'm actually pleased with how it turned out. I just wasn't that familiar with uh, the music software application. So that was a huge learning curve. Going on YouTube, trying to figure out tutorials on how to use it. I was lucky that I did have, and I used Ableton Live. So I do have a friend that actually teaches a course at Santa Fe Junior College. So on Ableton Live, so I was able to get help from him to kind of finish it off because it was not going in the direction I wanted to, but it was just mostly because I didn't understand how to use the software yet. Um, so I enjoyed the process, and I've already started making other data sets on different plants. So I'm hoping to do more of that. For me, I always like to challenge myself in my practice. When I become good at something, sometimes it becomes boring to me. So I'm always trying to, I guess, incorporate lifelong learning in my own practice. So I'm always taking courses. I'm always looking at new ways of doing things. And so this opened up a whole new avenue for me. And I really enjoyed it. And I actually plan on taking a class so I can learn the software even better. Because I think if I would have um, known how to use the software, it probably would have been maybe just a little bit better. But um, all in all, I'm pretty happy with it. And like I said, I'm hoping to use more data sets that uh, that will kind of enhance the physical pieces that I'm making. I kind of consider that one piece. So, in order to make the music or the soundscape, I needed to create these data sets, and so that I could pull from those. And so I kind of, even though several different steps, I still consider it one piece. Um, and I'm really enjoying it. It's a big learning curve for me. I'm not a tech person, so it's super challenging. Um, you know, and also just being, I wouldn't say I think the last time I played an instrument was, piano as a kid or, violin as a kid. Um, I haven't really played in decades, so music theory is something I'm trying to relearn and understand again. So it keeps me on my toes, definitely.